started talking about the Infinity Tunnel before Michelle had written that script. She wanted a place that Burnham could go to that was created by the progenitors that would be a mind bender.
It's the most complicated thing I've ever seen. It really pushed the AR wall technology. There were charts and graphs for which environment was going to be in which square on the wall, and it was calculus.
The Infinity Tunnel is this massive space that exceeds all the way, as far as you can imagine, forward and as far as you can imagine backward. And between each sort of walkway, you see a brand new world.
Alatunde also wanted the environments to sort of reach out into our practical space, so they felt like they were coming right through the portal. So we wound up adding mountain tips and steam from lava and tree leaves.
So then we started thinking, oh wow, like this is kind of exciting. Well, what if Burnham and Moll kind of went into these other planets and we got to experience them?
We out here.
So in the finale episode, I would say we're pretty busy. 21,000 gallons of heated water that is standing by to deliver tremendous amounts of rain on that set. We have 3 V8 fans and 2 VW fans standing by, one on a telehandler to be able to deliver gale force winds as they try and navigate a fight sequence on this planet.
So in my opinion, what makes a great and believable fight sequence is to see that our cast believe in the movement that they're doing.
Let's do that, because that'll actually help us for the phaser.
Yeah.
So let's go slowly. One.
Of course, I love stunts, and I love fighting, and that sounds weird, but I do. I love stunt fighting.
When I got the part, I asked, can I have the stunt coordinator's contact information, because I have to tell him that I can't do anything. So I emailed Chris McGuire, who is the most wonderful human being, and he was so kind in his response. He was like, come in, we'll work with you, we'll see what's up.
I'm not nervous at all.
The first thing we do in regards to fights is just pick the story apart in pieces like with a fine-tooth comb. Every single detail to tell the story that we can. Then we try to figure out what headspace the character's in during that sequence, and then we adapt that to the fight.
The Infinity Hallway fight sequence was challenging because if you look at it, it's actually 5 or 6 different fights that are occurring. So each of those 5 different fights has to be rehearsed.
It took everything from everybody to get that done. And of course, by the end of the season, we're all tired, and that was definitely a part of it, but that also makes the experience more fulfilling because you're pressing against something and you're overcoming it together. The moments that I had with Eve, that piece, transitioning from, being separate to being together, and being of 2 minds to being of 1 mind. That's the heart of Trek right there.
Those were all worlds you created. No, we found them here.
What I love the most is that the progenitor reveals that they didn't create it, that they found it. Because, of course, what that says is we don't know, in this sci-fi story, the possibilities are still endless.